Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hoping a phenomenal day. Happy Monday to you. Quick look at Bitcoin. Truth be told, this hasn't done too much since I last analyzed it this morning, so I'll just kind of be recapping some bullet points here. Make sure we cover some important stuff to look for. We're also going to look at some trading sessions from previous timeframes here and kind of pick up on some patterns here. Asian markets are very predictable in a lot of ways. Like 75% of the time they perform a specific function every time the market opens, and similar scenario when the market closes. Thanks again to my community for some awesome feedback. Deeply appreciate that. Super happy the Near protocol worked very well for us. Almost 50% in 2 trading days on a 5x leverage trade from Saturday till this morning. So good news is with Bitcoin, just kind of jump into this here. The backend data, liquidation data is looking very favorable for further upside. Again, mainly because there's so many people shorting, so much leverage in place. Market movers and whales are notice that and they see it. Keep in mind, the last 7 days we see just as much liquidation on the downside as the upside. So 61K, we could very well see that get swept. Please know that the world, the world of crypto as we know it isn't over if we retest that level. It's fairly standard, very normal. Even though we'd be losing our ascending trend line, it wouldn't mean that we're breaking bearish. It would be a natural retest of that local support range. Okay, so again, our stronger fib levels, depending on what time frame you're looking at, are effectively aggregated right there at that level of 61,000. Okay, so again, some important stuff there to recognize. And then if we look at the macro here, we can see 65K upwards of 70,000 is a lot. And I mean a lot of liquidation here. I mean, every one of these bars is somewhere in the range of 7 to 10 billion. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so there's 14 bars there that average somewhere in the range of 5 to 10 billion at least. So that's a lot of math. I did the loose math earlier today, somewhere in the range of 80 plus billion between now and 66,000. So that is a real thing. Keep in mind, again, liquidation down as low as 61K. There's still some chunks here, 10 to 20 billion per 1,000. So 62K maybe has about 10 to 20 billion. And then we got the same roughly at 61K. But that's half the incentive, or even a quarter of the incentive of the price going higher. Okay, again, keep in mind liquidation levels are swept because market makers like to destroy the opposition and just have full control of the playing field at that time. Speaking of at that time, let's zoom into the 15-minute time frame and just kind of give you perspective here and take a look. This red bar here is the Asian the Asian trading day session. Okay. So if we take a look here, we also got London, which is green, and then blue is US here, okay? And this teal is kind of, they overlap a little bit. Anyways, the whole point of me showing you this here is that, this is what happened last night. Asia dumps the market, instantly pumps it up, and then dumps it again. So this is just that natural, standard, unfortunately very common trading practice where the price action will dump, get everybody to take some late shorts, destroy them, take some late longs, destroy them. It happens over and over and over again. You see it happen more frequently and consistent with Asian markets though. Dump and pump. Let's see here, dump and pump again. Okay, dump and sideways action. We can see pull back, pump, recover. A lot of these like heartbeat monitors, right, where it just kind of naturalizes itself right back where it's at. There's a dump and a pump there. Mostly just dump. So again, as you can kind of see, if you kind of go through here, you'll see a lot of times where anything that goes profitable into the Asian trading markets, they're going to correct it and essentially secure profits. So what does that mean for us now? Well, let's go ahead and zoom out. See here. Sorry, I think I switched some stuff on the charts a little bit. The whole point of me showing you this, though, is that with us kind of going sideways right now, going into Asian trading cycle, I think that there's a chance that we might see the price actually go up than down, just simply because there isn't really a lot of profit to be taken. They wouldn't know what to do, so they're just going to buy more Bitcoin. Again, I could be way off on that, but generally speaking, that's a pattern I want you to be aware of. Okay, cool. So now that we preface with that, and you understand generally just a tiny bit more, we're going to look at the daily time frame and work our way down. So just to clarify from before, the daily time frame looks pretty solid. We're above most moving averages. We're just getting rejected tentatively by the 200-day SMA, but we've retested that level about 4 or 5 times. Probably a little easier to see here on this chart. Okay, so if you look, there's the 200 right there. We've seen 4, now 5 days essentially at that range. Okay, so once we break through that, we've got the 0.618 fib level to fight or to break through, and then it's we're off to the races, because you can see here we got this local high, breaking through that high, retested as low, continue higher. All the while, 66,000, we got 80 billion in liquidation here. Okay, that's a lot of liquidation and a more propensity for the price to go up higher. The other bullet point to recognize on the weekly, and just to kind of jump around here, is that we closed above the 20-day SMA. That's a very favorable sign. We're also have a MACD convergence that is forming. We can see stochastic swinging up, and we've been able to maintain above 50 on the RSI for a couple of weeks now. This is generally construed as a very, very positive sign. Okay, at least for me personally, just as a swing trader looking at more macro stuff more frequently. So I think that's very good. The overall sentiment is positive, and it just seems like we have more propensity to go up than down. Ever since we broke it back through 60K, we've seen a lot of support. Anytime the price tries to pull back, it just goes right back up again. Okay, so just kind of understand that 4-hour time frame, we're above all moving averages. We're right there above the 20-day SMA. All well and good for the moment. Everything else here checks out. We're seeing a lot of good confirming factors. While the 4-hour time frame isn't phenomenal, it's not absolutely bearish. It's mostly neutral to positive. Okay. Same thing with the hourly too here. Even though we're getting a lot of false positives here, we're kind of sort of above the cloud, and there's some important things to recognize here on the hourly, such as the TPO. If we look at our TPO here, we can see our point of control is about 63,400. But for the weekend, the overall point of control for the weekend is right where the price is at, 63,000. The last thing to note about 63,000, we look at the daily time frame, we look at our macro, we can recognize that we have the most amount of volume at 63,000. Okay, let's zoom out here a little bit. We can see that 63K mark right here. Boom. That's right where we're at. So again, being above that, maintaining at 63,000, this nice little channel that we are in right now is a very, very positive sign. So again, Asia may try to dump, and I think that if they do, we're going to see some people try to do some late shorts, and they're going to be the ones getting destroyed. I wouldn't bat an eye at the Bitcoin price pulling back at all. Main reason why is because we got a strong 0.618 fib level at 60.5 thousand, 60.5, 60.7, depending on how you look at it there. There's that golden pocket in that range, and that's a solid support level. So to me, 60.5, 61.5, that's a very, very good consideration for a long if the price comes back to that level. And if it doesn't, I think along at 62.5, this lower support range would be equally as important or beneficial. So I'm hoping the price pulls back just a little bit to get in a nice little entry there. Either way, everything's looking pretty darn good here for Bitcoin. That's the consensus. All right, that's where we're at. Again, it's not a biased opinion. This is mostly just facts that we're seeing here, a lot of consistency. And generally, when these things are present, the price is more likely to go up. The last little caveat, though, you need to know is that market makers are very, very manipulative, and they're going to probably see a lot of people trying to take late longs and just give them one last candle wick down. It's exactly why I'm kind of considering an average entry in to that lower range and maybe not going all in essentially. Okay, I rarely go all in anyways, but I just recommend for you consider multiple entries on the way down, just based on the way that the market makers move things. They like to shake out the late longs or late shorts. In this case, we have a lot of early shorts. They're on the verge of disaster. This is a monumental amount of liquidation. A lot of them got destroyed here just a moment ago too, overnight last night at about that 64.7 mark. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. That's all we got for now. We'll go and update you again in the morning. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.